I did way more recovery from this fight. Just make sure my body is 100% because it just
Hmm.
had one camp and going to another camp. Sometimes the body kind of
Yeah.
felt a little bit.
All right. I am here with Gilbert Burns going into UFC 287 in Miami, Florida against Jorge Masvidal at welterweight. Gilbert, the last time I talked to you, we were right before the Neil Magny fight. How were you feeling during that fight? I know you felt good going into the camp. And during that fight, what were you looking for specifically? Did you see that submission kind of just come about as you were during the fight, or were you looking for that specifically?
Whenever the fight with Neil Magny started, I want to throw a couple punches in first, make sure he respects me, he respect the distance a little bit. But I felt that he was kind of hesitant to come in to get closer. And I kind of, you know what, I'm gonna throw a right hand. I'm gonna if I land it good, if I don't land, I'm gonna try a body lock. And that was easy. Whenever I throw a right hand, body lock was right there. I pull it and I end up on top. And I felt a little bit of resistance on the jiu-jitsu, but not a lot of get up, not a lot of like
Yeah.
urgency to come up. So and then when I
Hmm.
didn't feel that, I said, okay, let me just take my time and slowly I was looking for a finish. It was kind of seeing a finish. I saw a guillotine. I saw maybe going to the back, maybe armbar. There was a lot of things going on in my mind and a lot of
Yeah.
opportunities. But I stuck with the arm triangle. That was the one that I trained very much. I kind of saw that he gonna give it to me, and I was
Hmm.
slowly working to get these done. But Neil Magny was taller than I thought going to the
Hmm.
fight. The distance was a little bit off for me. That's why I couldn't strike. Not that I couldn't, but I didn't strike so much at the beginning. But I was trying to get used to the distance, trying to see. But he was super long, fighting very far away from me. So that's why, you know what, let me take this fight to the floor.
Yeah, and you did what you had to do, and it paid off. So, going into this fight with George, did you do anything differently this camp than you did in the camp with Neil Magny? And are you going to be looking for anything else specifically?
Yeah, I always try to adapt and get better, and improve in a couple things. Uh, I did way more recovery from this fight. Just make sure my body is 100% because it just
Hmm.
had one camp and going to another camp. Sometimes the body kind of
Yeah.
felt a little bit. I was kind of feeling a little bit on the beginning. That's why we did way more recovery, and I'm feeling good. And then I put the cold plunge every day in the morning. That's one big change that I did, and my body's kind of
Hmm.
reacting super good. And a lot of sauna, a lot of cold plunge, most days, every day in the morning, and sometimes after sessions too. And yeah, but that was the most, and for sure, changing training partners, because Neil Magny needed taller guys, lanky. This fight, he's just 1 inch taller than me. I'm 5'10", he's 5'11". So I
Hmm.
use Vicente Luque, Kevin Lee a lot. I use a guy named Julio, Brazilian guy. He just like Masvidal. Everything that he throws is like very
Yeah.
sharp. Julio Arce, that guy helped me very much. And Angelus, a couple other guys here from Kill Cliff, André Fialho. So I just use the guys that are a little bit taller than me, not much, with good boxing, good kicks, good takedown defense. That was the most change. A lot of recovery and the teammates that I use for this fight, the sparring partners.
Yeah. Kill Cliff's great for that. Just a whole massive team of just amazing sparring partners. So I'm sure that was perfect. So your last fight was in Brazil. We've heard a lot of talk about who the king of Miami is with Jorge and Colby. When you were at home in Brazil, I know you were at home there and you felt at home. Do you think you're still going to feel a little bit at home in Miami just because you do train out of Brazil and you do live there with your family? Or do you think you're kind of going into enemy territory there?
It's gonna be a little bit of both. I think
Yeah.
he born and raised in Miami, he knows everybody. I
Mm.
think I think the crowd is gonna be a little bit more for George than for me, but so many Brazilians here too. So
Yeah.
I think he got it on the beginning, but as the fight started going, I think the crowd kind of picked the guy that is doing good. So
Yeah.
I guess on the beginning he gonna get the crown a little bit. But I think you get a lot of love here from everyone in Miami, the way I carry myself, the way I represent myself,
Yeah.
the way I fight, the
100%.
way my values, my family, my style. I
Hmm.
think on the beginning, maybe a little bit more to Georgia, but as the fight is going, I think I'll take over the crown just like I did with Shimaev and
Yeah,
a lot of other fights. So, but I can see the crowd giving a little bit more to him. The guy born and raised right here, like a Miami guy. So yeah, I think he got it on the beginning.
everyone likes a fun fight, and everyone's sure that it's going to be a fun fight for sure. So,
Yes.
um, Leon Edwards against Kamaru Usman. We just saw that trilogy happen. In our last interview, you predicted a win for Leon Edwards. What are your thoughts on that fight, and how do you think both of the guys looked?
I think that was a great fight. I think great game plan executed from Leon Edwards and his team. I knew Kamaru will keep the hands up and don't get another head kick. But then with that being said, like open up body kicks,
The
open up
body,
leg
yeah,
kicks,
over and
open up
over, yeah,
knees. And those body kicks is he's serious, bro. It's a baseball bat on your body, bro. And
yeah,
Leon Leon has a very good body kick. I think he did a great job. And I think that kind of because of the amount of kicks and the speed on the kicks and the power and the movements, Leo Edwards was able to throw Kamaru out of his gameplay. So Kamaru
hmm,
he couldn't get the wrestling going, he couldn't get the fence going. He was too worried about a head kick. He was thinking about that in the fight instead of flow, thinking of his techniques and do his thing and do his pressure. I think he was overthinking so much about these. So I do think Leon Edwards looked very, very good. And I think Kamaru looked a little bit warrior. But I
yeah,
think great job from Leon, way to get the belt and keep the belt, because it's not
yep,
about getting there, it's about staying there. And he did a
yep,
great job doing that. And heads off to Kamaru too, dominant champion for years, beat a lot of guys. So yeah, I think that was a high level fight, and I have fun watching. Then it was just kind of like the way I predict, even mentally before, but even technically, I was just watching the home movie set and I say, bro, watch Leon gonna kick him so much, like so much.
hmm.
Knees, everything, good movement. And I think they're gonna get come out frustrated, but and he did exactly what he thought. So great fight for Leon.
Watching that back, is that an exciting fight for you with Leon?
Yeah, 100%. Both of these guys. I
Yeah,
was thinking Leon was going to win, but anyone, I think I'm on the right track right now, doing everything in my power to earn another title shot and to become a champion. So I'm kind of commit. I was always commit with my training, with my lifestyle. But now after the Hamza fight, something changing, and then I'm committing like with everything I do. It's just like I'm making a decision. Like if I have those are just oils, but just an example. Like he's gonna help me to win. No, okay, boom. He's gonna help. Yes, I'm taking that. It's
yeah,
just like that I'm
yep,
approaching everything in my life, every little thing. So I see me against Leon, great fight, but that's later. Now I gotta focus on George.
yep.
I think he's a game. He's very dangerous opponent. I gotta be there, present, 100%, and looking
Hmm.
for the finish, and that's exactly what I'm looking forward to do.
Awesome. What do you think's next for Kamaru? Considering like we haven't really seen him lose in since the beginning of his career. He lost once, then he lost to Leon, and then he lost again, and now it's kind of like we've only ever seen him at the top. We've only ever seen him as this dominant fighter,
Yeah.
and we know like you guys are family friends. You've trained together lots. So what do you think's next for him in the UFC?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think he should take a little time off, reflect, see what he wants to do. The guy sacrificed so much of his time. He get a bunch
Mm-hmm.
of injuries, do camp like he does a camp. He lives here in Florida, but he does a camp all the way in Denver, Colorado. He
Mm-hmm.
spends a lot of time away from his daughter, and then I know he loves his daughter so much. So I don't know. I think he should take a little time off, reflect a little bit, see what he wants next because he has nothing to prove. The guy was pound for pound number one for EO, maybe more dominate champion, and I don't know what he wants next. I think that's the question. He needs to know what he wants next. If he want to reclaim that title, win that title back, or if he's done, I don't know. I think he should take a little time off and look for these answers and see what's next and go chase that.
Yeah, I agree. Um, Everyone's been talking about Colby being next for the title shot. Colby hasn't fought in quite a long time. What do you think about that? Do you think Colby's deserving next up for the title shot?
Uh, Not really, but he's very smart, because there was 1 year ago that he fought March 5th, 2022,
Hmm.
and out of nowhere he comes and he wins as a replacement, as a backup fight. And then I think that was very smart of him, to do that.
Yep.
I gotta give it up to the guy. He's very smart. I don't think, honestly, that he deserves, but I think he's already next. I don't know if
Yeah.
UFC had a deal with him to drop the charge against Masvidal and then he'll be next. But what I know is I have a chance on April 8th to
Yep.
put a doubt on Dana White in everyone's mind, to put
Yep.
that down that I should be the next. So, and that's exactly what I'm doing, I think. And I don't want to say that this guy deserves, that guy doesn't deserve. No, I don't think he does, but they might give it to him. So the only thing that is in my power that I can control and that I can do is my performance. So I'm planning on making my performances speak louder than that and making everyone like, no man, Gilbert, like Burns gotta be next. So
Yep.
I'm not even. I think Kobe did agree. He's smart, bro. And then I gotta give that to him. He was
Yeah.
very smart getting
Hmm.
this opportunity. But now my job is to put it down on Dana White, UFC fans, media, and everyone, and let them know that hey, the guy here, he's been a dark horse right now. People talking about Kobe. People talking about that guy. I'm the guy. So April 8th,
Yep.
I'm about to put it down in everyone's mind and remind it.